So, my video is on Argula von Grumbach. I can only apologize in advance for the very saggy quality of my microphone. Well, she's born as Argula von Stauff in around 1490, 1492, 1494. I've read differing sources. This is in Bavaria. Back then, it's an independent kingdom state of the Holy Roman Empire. But if you look at this map of modern Germany in the bottom right, you can see that now it's simply a state of the German countryside. The von Stauff family has a long-running history of nobility and wealth. Argula grows up educated, she's able to read, and at age 10 she receives a German Bible as a gift. This would have been particularly expensive as Luther hasn't translated the Hebrew and Greek Bible into German yet. This would have had to have been a translation of the Latin Vulgate, which is already very expensive. She probably grew up reading it and learning all about it, so she probably loved it. In her early teens, she receives a job at the court as a personal assistant to, and this is a pronunciation guess, Kunigunde, the daughter of the current Holy Roman Emperor. This gives her even more exposure to culture and education, but at only age 17, the plague hits Bavaria. Both her parents are killed within the same year. Ultimately, she is adopted by her uncle Jerome. Only 7 years later, her uncle is executed publicly for a political scandal. Many modern historians think that he was not even involved and that he was simply an innocent scapegoat. The same year, she marries Friedrich von Grumbach. The von Grumbachs don't have the level of nobility as the von Stauffs, but you need to consider that she is an orphan. This sadly makes her worth less to another family. Friedrich gets employed by the Bavarian Duke in Dietfurt, and they move there and ultimately start a family, and she has 4 children. The next year, Martin Luther nails up the 95 Theses, and the Reformation starts in earnest. Despite her husband remaining Catholic, Argula becomes a reformed person, and she ends up arranging for all her children to be educated by reformers when they're old enough. She even ends up starting a communication with Martin Luther. As the Reformation spreads, the papacy becomes more and more concerned about Lutheran ideas becoming too popular. A student, Arcesius Seehofer, I think, at Ingolstadt University, which has sworn loyalty to Catholic ideas, is found spreading them. The university wants to prove their loyalty to the papacy and to the Bavarian government, which they are sponsored by, so they force him to publicly recant in 1523, and they send him to a monastery as a form of imprisonment. This becomes a very public affair, and it'll be this that drives Argula to action in the Reformation. Argula writes multiple letters, which she will ultimately become famous for. She claims that because no men will take action about Seehofer, she is called to. The first letter is to the university attacking them over Seehofer. She says that she'll even go and challenge them to a debate if they want it. And the second letter is to the Duke of Bavaria, calling for righteous preaching of the gospel throughout the state. The letters write about the supremacy of Scripture, and she claims that it's wrong to punish someone for teaching Luther, as Luther is simply preaching the Gospels, not claiming any authority over it. However, Argula receives no known response or change to the situation, and ultimately Bavaria remains Catholic, and knowledge of her from here on in is scarce. Despite being known for only a few letters when being compared to Reformation giants of the time like Luther, and no actual change to the situation that she wanted to change, she ultimately will have lasting influence. Her letters are hugely popular, and within the first 2 months, there are 14 different versions of them, and 10,000 different copies are printed thanks to the all-new printing press. I think the popularity of it probably stems from the fact that she's a woman who challenges men in powerful places, such as the Duke and the leader of the university. There's no evidence that she actually died due to her beliefs, but many still call her a martyr due to being ignored and slandered by the people that she challenged. Many people will call her the first woman reformer. So, what exactly is the influence that she has? The people reading her work probably would have already received the Reformation ideas that were spreading like crazy due to Luther's popularity. However, Argula proves to them something that Luther never could have, that despite common belief, women can have strong, educated ideas that can reach many people, something that would have been unheard of at the time. And here is my bibliography. While Argula is in the Daughters of the Church book, there's not a ton of really usable information in there. If you're interested in her at all, I recommend the second one on this list. It's Peter Matheson, Argula von Grumbach, A Woman's Voice in the Information. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I apologize again for my microphone.